Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, time of possession should be a factor. The Dolphins are top 10 in converting third.
Larry, we could have been assigned to December games in Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Instead, we get the plum assignment here in sunny Miami, Florida. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Miami Dolphins. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They're led out by their strong-arm quarterback out of Texas A&M. It's Ryan Tannehill.
I think one of the things I like about Ryan Tannehill's game is that he understands what his receivers are looking for downfield. He played that position at Texas A&M before becoming the starting quarterback. So a lot of times when he's in the pocket looking downfield, he's actually running the routes with the receivers as he remembers them.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They go play action here on first down. And incomplete to open things up. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. So that one will get him halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
This one away by the punter, Dar. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Bears take over. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Unable to corral him. He fights through. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that. Having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes you're...
Looks for White, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere, but they have to do it with a plan. And I think about Atlanta a bunch of years ago. They decided they wanted to get what they thought was going to be a franchise quarterback, and indeed he is, Matt Ryan. But they had to supplement it. They went free agency, got a running back, came back and traded back into the first round in the same draft to get a left tackle to protect him. Really supplemented that pick, complemented that pick, and went to the playoffs the very next year.
Or maybe they can use that and carbon copy it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Smith on first down. Flushed out right. Looking for White on the... He's got it at the 15. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 42 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Melvin Gordon, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
So now here come the Dolphins. I would say they went 3-and-out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3-and-out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1-and-out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. William Golston in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 inside their own 20-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he whips that one incomplete there.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football. One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too. He's thrown one interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does. And that was a risky. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. The dangerous Jarvis Landry back for Miami. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up? Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Tannehill now, they give to Ajayi. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through.
They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a backbreaking first down.
He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Second and 10. Tannehill once more. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target.
And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was third and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. To throw on second down is Tannehill. And it's caught. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads took him right off his feet. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Tannehill. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Kenny Stills, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Here's the dangerous Tyreek Hill. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk. This is a big decision here.
Now Gino on first down. The 20. Throw left side complete. It's Hughes. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. From the red zone now, Smith. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept it. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Kevin White, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to lead to a third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass it in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up the third down.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Now Gordon on first down. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Throwing now is Gino. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yo, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
Now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up in that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus.
Yeah.
Well, the mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to stay with it.
That's true. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On second down, here's Tannehill. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Tannehill to Landry. Good for a Dolphin first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Zone infraction, defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
From the 50, it's Tannehill. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Over the middle, open is Thomas. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he has Carew. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did. Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills, and it's third down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Play fake to Ajayi. It's Tannehill. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
They run with Ajayi. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. And he's going to lose yardage here as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the fourth quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good pickup there, a 22. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. And you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And no, it's incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They run again with a Jai. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Here's Ajayi. And he'll take this one down to the 36. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now it's Ajayi. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright. And this score will stay right where it is. So with that miss, Charles, you have to figure their fate. It might be sealed.
Yeah, you needed 2 scores. So you take the field goal first and then worry about getting the ball back. But that may not matter now.
And his throw here's incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And that's caught inside the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Smith now to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Gino now to throw. This is Gordon on the dump off. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
It doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Elsewhere, they're into the fourth at FedEx Field. And the Panthers are starting to pull away in that one. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Cam Newton, 2 touchdown passes in the W. Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. And Charles, I think...
Don't forget, work on installing your game plan prior to this week's matchup.